Episode 3 of Lord of the Mysteries is out and it's already hit the #1 spot for the summer 2025 anime season. As Klein encounters that fated clown, the story of Lord of the Mysteries has finally reached its first major climax.
不用担心，我已经让其他人都失去了意识，你我之间的小秘密不会有第三个人知道。
Just a short while ago, late night Captain Dunn interrogated that secret order member who was following Klein. The result was just as expected. The reason they were following Klein was for the antagonist family notebook. So, in order to investigate clues about the notebook, Klein brought Dunn to the house where the kidnapping happened before. Although they only found a rotting corpse, thankfully they still had Bieber's photo. However, just as Klein prepared to use his Seer abilities to track Bieber's whereabouts through the photo, he was suddenly blocked by a powerful interference. Helpless, Dunn had no choice but to report the matter to the Holy Cathedral. And at the gathering the next day, he gave Klein a citron crystal that could enhance his spirituality. It turns out that to ensure the mission's success, the Holy Cathedral not only approved the use of a Grade 2 sealed artifact, but also sent an escort to Tingen City. They came from Backland Ayer Harson, a Sequence 7 Nightmare of the Sleepless Pathway Borgia, a Sequence 8 Gravekeeper of the Corpse Collector Pathway, and Madame Dali. Because this mission involved the antagonist family, the Holy Cathedral authorized the use of a rather dangerous sealed artifact 2049. However, before using the sealed artifact, Ayer Harson suddenly became very serious. He not only repeated a strange action, but also told everyone they had to do with him, or their lives would be in danger. As Ayer Harson unsealed 2049, Klein was shocked to find that inside the box was actually a living clown puppet. Before he could even feel curious, the next moment, the clown revealed an extremely terrifying expression.
动不了了，不会要变成木头人吧？什么情况？
It turns out this clown wasn't an ordinary puppet. Not only is it a masterpiece of the antagonist family, but it also actively approaches anyone related to the family. It's precisely because Klein had touched the notebook that it locked onto him the moment it was unsealed. However, the puppet's control effect only works on 2 people within a 5-meter range, so it doesn't actually have effective lethal power. So, while making strange movements, the group headed towards their destination. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Bieber they were looking for had already forcibly absorbed the notebook, and in a corner nearby, a man wearing clown makeup had appeared. However, the group that had just arrived was completely unaware of this. The only thing they could confirm was that an incredibly dangerous existence was hidden inside the warehouse. Suddenly, a black fog filled with the stench of blood appeared before them. Before the group could react, the next second, Bieber, who had lost control of his beyonder powers from absorbing the notebook, appeared in front of them. Just in case, Dunn handed Klein 2 slumber charms and immediately led the group to charge inside. Although everyone had tried every way to control Bieber, the situation was still not optimistic. Because this time it wasn't an ordinary case of losing control of beyonder powers, but a wraith. So just this wasn't enough to suppress him. But thankfully, at the critical moment, Madame Dali immediately found a solution. If they could just restrain this guy for 3 seconds, she could use her abilities to finish him off completely. So Dunn immediately used his own power. With continuous flashes of blue lightning, the out-of-control Bieber was quickly restrained. But the next second, the notebook suddenly erupted with a powerful energy. And before Dunn could react in an instant, his body was pierced by a sharp spike. But even so, he endured the pain and used all his strength to hold the monster in place.
叫的确实挺卖力，但比起会晤上的意义，差远了。奥特利，打落地。
However, just when everyone thought it was finally over, the next second, Klein suddenly heard a sound coming from the notebook. As he was about to pick it up, suddenly, the clown appeared behind him. Although Dunn immediately fired his gun to protect Klein, it was just the clown's illusion. And it was then that Klein suddenly realized the clown who had just ambushed him was the same guy he'd seen not long ago. And judging by the abilities he displayed, he was at least a sequence 7 beyonder, so in order to protect 2049 in the suitcase, the group had to fight the clown while trying to find a chance to escape. But unexpectedly, during the fight an incredible scene occurred. In an instant, all of them were brought under the control of 2049's ability. Thinking of this, Klein fought against the control to perform the luck-changing ritual. Everything went just as he had planned. He really returned to that mysterious gray fog space. But there was no time to think. Every extra second he spent here put Captain Dunn and the others in more danger. So, Klein used his Seer ability to divine the safety of returning, and just as he wished, he broke free from 2049's control. Just as he was thinking about how to break the stalemate, the clown's voice suddenly reached his ears. It turned out the clown wanted to make a deal with him. If he handed over the Antigonus notebook, the clown would help him break free from 2049's control. To show his sincerity, he was willing to add a new bargaining chip to the deal.
我将赐予你一个答案，有占卜家对应的序列8。
是真还是假？一个前占卜家怎么会对我现在的状态判断失误？灰雾干扰了占卜结果。
不用担心，我已经让其他人都失去了意识，你我之间的小秘密不会有第三个人知道。好了，做出你的决定，相信我，你们的时间不多。听好了，占卜家对应的序列8是。
Hearing this, Klein immediately decided to play along. He first pretended to agree to the clown's demand, then, while the clown was completely off guard, he pulled him into 2049's control range. By the time the clown realized it was too late. He could never have imagined that a Sequence 9 Beyonder could actually escape the puppet's control. And so, with the bullet fired by Klein, the clown died at his hands. At the same time, Klein also discovered the secret order's mark on his hand. Klein had just turned around when the clown suddenly stood up again, repeatedly muttering the word Hormic. Then, it completely stopped breathing. However, with the end of this mission, Klein grew curious about the notebook's contents, to find out what secrets it held, and also to understand what the clown meant by Hormic. The scene changes, and he personally pays a visit to his teacher's friend, telling him what happened, Azik Eggers. Although Mr. Zeke had heard of the name Antigonus, he still couldn't give Klein the clue he was looking for. After Klein left, a skeleton wreathed in red flames appeared from the shadow behind Mr. Azik.